All right, everyone, welcome to episode 4 of the Joe Nick Fight Podcast. We're very excited to have Dylan, the real deal Price,
Sure.
super flyweight prospect, 11-0, 8 knockouts. We also have his father, who's trainer slash manager, David Price. Guys, thank you so much for joining the podcast.
Hey
Thank you
man,
for
thank
having
you
us.
for having us.
All
Thank
right.
you
Oh,
guys.
yeah. So my first question I have for Dylan. So if you could let everybody know, where did you grow up at?
Well, I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I grew up in Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Cool. And then what age did you start boxing at?
I start boxing at 9 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I actually played football. I started off playing football, basketball, baseball, but I didn't feel like I was too good at all of those sports. And then the last sport I played before boxing was football, but I was too small. I was 55 pounds, getting ready to play with the 120 pounders. So my dad said, "Let's try boxing," and I was shook.
Gotcha.
My first
Um,
day.
were were you a running back or were you on the defensive side?
I was a running back. I
Were
was a
you?
running back. Yep, yep.
All
I
right.
was a
Well,
small guy.
Scat back.
yeah. I mean, I feel like the Eagles could probably use you now because it is just an utter mess.
Right.
So obviously, when we look at your amateur background, it's really eye-opening. For the people that don't know your amateur background, could you just talk about your achievements? Your record should probably be fresh in your head too, or like if Dad could chime in on it too with your amateur background. But could you just let everybody know about your achievements, your record, and some of the big fights and all that you had in amateurs because you've had a hell of an amateur background.
All right. Thank you. I won 7 national titles. I won Junior Olympics. I won the USA Nationals twice. I won the Junior Golden Gloves. I won the ringside, the National Pile, and I think that was 7. And I went to the World Championships. I received a bronze medal at the 2016 at the Youth World Championship, St. Petersburg, Russia. So yeah, man, I had a pretty good amateur career.
Pretty
Oh
good.
my God, I know it is.
Let me add to it. Let me put some stank on it.
Oh
So
yeah, please.
all right, 2009 we won the ringside. That was his first national. 2009 we also won the national pal. That's when we teamed up with Floyd Mayweather Sr. So he came out with us, trained with him. So that was really cool. Then in 2012 we in Reno, Nevada, we won the Junior Golden Gloves. We lost in the finals in 2011, so we doubled back, won it in 2012. Then we start concentrating on the USA tournaments. You had to be 15 to do that. That's the Junior Olympics. So we won the Junior Olympics. Actually, when he was 14, won most outstanding boxer. We had some real great ones in that tournament too, but we shined above them. Shakur Stevens, he won that year. Then in 2015, we won the USA Youth National Championship. He won Best Boxer. Now listen to the names of the guys that were out there in this one. I mean, that was an all-star class. You had Shakur Stevenson, you had Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Jerron Ennis, Charles Conwell. I mean, it was a stacked group down there. And the smallest one in the division, he won Most Outstanding Boxer in 2015. Then in 2016, we defended our title, won back-to-back youth national championships, which put us on the USA team again. We went to St. Petersburg, Russia, fought 5 times, lost in the semifinals to Cuba, which I thought we won. But received the bronze, and then right from there, he said he wanted to turn pro, so we signed with Mayweather, and we took off doing what we do.
Perfect. Oh my God.
I think my version was better. Tell you the
Yeah.
truth.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, oh my God. I know. Like Dill was telling us, but it's like, all right, all right. But then after you talked, it's like, oh my God, this is
Put a
crazy.
little bit on
That's funny. So my next 2 questions are some of my favorites. So this one I've heard a lot of different stories. So I had Stephen Fulton Jr. on before. So he was my first guest when I first started my own podcast. He said when he first went pro, he decided to leave amateurs once they stopped doing the headgear. And then I've had other fighters say once they had 50 fights, they knew it was time to go pro. But Dave, when did you know that your son was ready to go pro? And then Dylan, you could answer too. Like, when did you feel in your head that you were ready to go pro?
Well, we weren't on the same page with that, to be honest, because we went from the youth world championship. He didn't want to go to the youth world championship. He wanted to turn pro after winning the back-to-back national.
Mm-hmm.
We had the nationals was in January, and the youth championship was in November, and he didn't want to wait around. But I asked him, if you were fighting for a world championship in the pros, would you consider retiring when you had a world championship on the line? So he went to the world championship, and he just was at that point, a lot of his peers were turning pro, and he wanted to do the same. But I wanted him to stay for another 2 years. I wanted to go open, even with the headgear. I still wanted to do it, but I definitely understood why. And ultimately, I got to have, I didn't want to have him in that amateurs if he really didn't want to be there, because of course it was going to show.
Right.
So for me, I wanted 2 more years. And a lot of the things you saw in the professionals as we're learning on the job, it was just that. He was still a baby, learning as he went along. So still was good, but I would have liked 2 more years.
Okay. All right.
For me,
Yes.
I just looked at it like I was a little burnt out with the amateurs, like my dad said. I was seeing everybody turning pro, getting the shine, and the professionals getting the money. So I kind of wanted that a little bit. Even though they was paying in the amateurs, I thought it was kind of a little different for the pros. So after the World Championships, my mind was just starting to lock in on the pros. I was kind of getting sick of the amateurs.
Okay.
But the USA team was pretty much begging us to stay. They didn't want us to turn, and I really wasn't ready. But we talked about it. It was still was a good opportunity. So not crying over spilled milk. But since you asked, that's how it was behind closed doors.
Love it. Yeah, because like we don't really see what goes on behind closed doors. So it's actually cool to see that you guys actually clashed, but then it looked like the father knew best, and then he went pro.
Who do you think gonna win when we clash?
I know.
See this? Oh.
Exactly. Okay, so my second question I have to show that boxers are all human and they also have feelings. So Dill, you made your pro debut fight at 18 years old, which is crazy to even hear these days. So you made it on February 24th, 2017 against Malcolm Spate down in North Carolina, first round knockout. So behind closed doors, were you nervous at all, or because of your amateur background, was it like everyday business for you?
Nah, I was super nervous in the dressing room.
Were you?
Super nervous. From not having a shirt on, fighting with a shirt on, to not having headgear. I was super nervous.
Yeah, just when just warming him up, I just thought he was totally off. So, and I think this is what you see with Angel Garcia sometimes, when you see him really playing the fool, and he's taking attention off of Danny, and he's putting it on himself. Not that he needs it, but he's relieving him of that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I start doing in the dressing room, just really acting a fool, trying to have fun and loosen up, because I see he definitely wasn't. Of course, once he got in the ring, he was, but prior to, he was a mess.
But that's true, because at the World Championship, I couldn't have my dad in the dressing room with me, so I had 2 of the USA team coaches. And I was just sit in the back. I had to do what I did mentally. I didn't have my dad and nobody back there, so that's what I was used to doing. So when I got back to getting in the dressing room with my dad, I carried that over.
Gotcha. Was it that you had to get like hit first, or was it like after throwing like a couple jabs that you felt fine, or was it like after the bell rang?
After the bell rang, I was fine. In the dressing room, I'm always super nervous, but when it's time for the ring walk and stuff like that, all the nerves go out the window,
And then that's when I get nervous.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I'm super nervous, and I'm always, before every fight, I'm super nervous in the dressing room for some reason. But as the closer we get to the ring, all the nerves go away. Then it's
Cool.
just
Perfect. Okay. And then of course you've had the opportunity, to sign with Mayweather Promotions, and obviously you guys are doing your own thing now. But the only question I'm gonna ask about Mayweather Promotions was, what was it like to work with Floyd and his father and the team over there for like your growth in the beginning?
First of all, you can ask any question you want.
Okay.
We don't have any secrets about
Okay.
Mayweather, but I'll let Dill start with that.
it was a great experience working with Mayweather. A lot of people would love to have a chance to work with them, but it was a good thing. It was a good experience, I'd say. Pretty good. It was a pretty good experience.
I thought it was a good experience. It was just like anything, some pros, some cons, like any marriage. But sometimes with a marriage, you might need to separate, you might need a divorce. And we still keep that option open, that we might revisit it. It was a lot of good things. The purses were good. The spotlight was good. The personnel were good. We were working with Juan Blake. We were working with Leonard Ellaby. I mean, they were all good people. It was just some administrative things. And for us, for me, understanding the business, the matchmaking, he was still trying to find himself. He was a new matchmaker. Good guy. And another year or two, maybe he'll be, that matchmaker he wants to be. But I didn't trust the matchmaking for my son to handle my son's career. They just weren't as experienced as they needed to be to handle a Porsche. You might have a Porsche or Bentley in your driveway, and your son could drive that Toyota. You don't touch this one. You got to learn to drive this one. We got to drive slow. I got to teach you that. And that's what I equate that matchmaker with. Great guy, great company. That was the only, a couple times, like, our fights got canceled. That was disappointing. And ultimately, that's what got us to leave. But it was primarily just the matchmaking. The matchmaker was too inexperienced to handle this type of fighter, I thought.
Gotcha. Okay. And then, I usually ask a lot of my favorite questions. So this one is for the both of you too. Dylan, if you want to start first. So I go to boxing events with my buddy, and he doesn't understand how important it is to build your own brand. It goes with the tickets, the merchandise, the posters you hand out, the pictures you take before and after the fights at events. So what's it been like to build your own brand? Because a lot of people that watch this, they think that some of you guys are making, like, 80,000 to six figures, but when you're fighting on the club shows, you're just building your brand and stuff. So what's it been like to build your brand as a young boxing professional at the age of 22?
Well, it's been great. Nobody can promote you better than yourself. My dad does all of the promotions. I just focus on the fights. He can answer that better than me. But I just go in there, do what I'm told, I get the job done. He do all of the promoting.
Perfect. And
Dave, that for me too?
Yes. If you want to touch up on building the brand of Price.
Yeah, and Mayweather, they did okay with that, but just like Dill said, when you just focus on really both of my sons, Devin and Dylan being a professional, so his promotion is a little different. I could just set all of my efforts there. So we're having a good time. We're having a good time promoting them on the social media, Instagram. We're having a good time just going places where kids are, having talks with them, and really just pushing it that way, doing it from grassroots up. People at the higher level already know who he is, so it's a matter of coming back to our base. This is our first time ever fighting in Philly as a pro, so trying to reestablish from our amateur rankings, coming back and reestablish our base, and then we'll branch out. So the promotional part, we're going against again January 16th. We'll probably come right back in late March after that if everything goes well. So the promotional part will love it. It costs a little more, but you know, this is the investment that I have in both of my children.
Perfect. Yep. Awesome. And
Devin, we seen Will Haney, who did it at the highest level, good friend of mine, with him and his son, prior to signing with the Zone. He just said, I'm gonna do it myself. And we talked about that as they were both coming out. And again, we had that clash. Me and my partner, Doc Nowicki, we wanted to promote Dylan coming out of the amateurs, but he wanted to sign with Mayweather, which was fine. And he wanted that big company, and that was okay too. But we were going to do it just like Devin did it. So we backed up, and now we're saying we could try it that way as well.
oh yeah, perfect. And plus, I mean, like top ranks there. PBC isn't going out of business, so I mean, you guys are gonna be fine. You know.
Yeah, at the right time when you wanna marry me, not date me, not just talk love stories to me. When you want to marry me, then the dollars, your words and your dollars are going to match, and then we know it's a match made in heaven.
Oh yeah. And is that fight on the 16th? Is that with Rodney Rice?
Yep, that's RDR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Yeah. I've met him twice prior to the fight in November. He's like a really nice guy. I actually like him a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be there 100%, and then I'm gonna have to hit you guys up for like a shirt too.
Okay, for sure.
Got you covered. Now that's gonna
yeah.
be a chapter at Elevate Event Center.
Elevate Event Center. Okay, cool, perfect. So I have one more question, and then I'm gonna pass it over to Nick for you. So for a lot of people that are wondering, so Dylan, you weigh between 116 to 118 pounds. For a big guy like me, that's like maybe eating a sugar packet or something. So what do you eat throughout the day, and what do you eat to cut weight and stuff?
When I'm cut weight, I eat a lot of grilled chicken, brown rice, pasta. Eat some pasta, and then the rest. Drinking a lot of water every day, a gallon of water a day. So when we start cutting weight, the weight will come off a little bit easier, and I won't be so weak and dehydrated.
Gotcha, man. I can't remember the last time I was that weight.
It's not easy making a weight, but you always got to sacrifice.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna pass it over to Nick. So thank you guys for answering my questions.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
What's going on, guys?
All right. Make the ruler.
So, wait, Dylan, to touch back on that last question, what do you walk around at?
I walk around about 125, 126.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna get right into it. So
on a good day, Nick.
On a good day.
On a good day.
So I'm really good friends with the new Ray Robinson. He lives like right around the corner from me. We met actually at my old job, and he bought a car, and that's how we got to talking and stuff. So we're really close now. And I was over his house the other night for the Garcia versus Spence fight.
Right.
That's his weight class and everything like that. And I happened to ask him a question. I'll have him on here soon, but I happened to ask him a question. I said, "What do you think of the current state of boxing in a nutshell?" And he said, "These YouTubers are quote unquote messing it up for everybody. The guys have been doing this for years. The guys have been doing this forever. And then because they disclose how much they're making, and these guys didn't put in the work like say you did, Ray did, all these guys, and they're making this money for what? To fight Nate Robinson, you know?"
Exactly.
What are your thoughts about that? Are they wrong?
Yeah, it's kind of turning into like the WWE. I feel like you know what I'm saying? It's all, a lot of it is staged, and I don't know, like you said, you got guys like Ray Robinson and other veterans that been doing this for years. Then you got YouTubers that got a couple million subscribers on YouTube and then come into the pros and make 5-6 million in a fight. Like Logan Paul, 2-3 professional fights, and he can already fight the greatest fighter of our era. It's just like, it make, I think, $100 million. So it's like, it's crazy to me. I think it's
And it's not even like he's beating those guys. He lost to
exactly.
others, and now he gets to fight Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly. So
I was just having this conversation with my barber, and I had the same sentiments. It sounds like as you guys, but he gave it a different perspective. I pretty much said exactly what Ray said. That they're ruining the game, and it's good that like a Tyson and Roy and Tyson's giving his money to charity. That's good, but the people that follow behind him, they're not. But he made a good statement, pretty much that if boxing was doing what it was supposed to, then they wouldn't lose their market share to things like this. What's the other one? MMA. That came in and took a portion of boxing, and now this really just exhibition is doing it. You know, Floyd did it and made $3 million. So he made a good point that if Earl Spence was fighting Terrence Crawford, and if those fights like that were made, then we wouldn't be looking outside of boxing for some type of novelty. So hopefully the sport, with all the back and forth with the different promoters, will, kind of cross those lines. And if it's the best fight, we can make money, let's make it happen.
Yes, exactly. And that's what see, like, I'm more of like so I follow MMA, UFC very, very, very highly. And it's nice hearing this come from like the boxing side.
I'm a purist, but like I said, my barber, I came with the same response that Ray Robinson did, but my barber gave me a different outlook, and I said, well, Dad, we all leaving the door open. You know what I mean? So maybe we got to close our door before we start saying what is and what isn't. But I didn't watch that Roy Jones and Mike Tyson mess. They were streaming it, and you could watch some of it free. I didn't care to watch that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke, and I think that's somewhat disrespecting the game. Once you get to a certain level, go and retire, man. Let the next guys do what they do.
Right, exactly. All right, so I'm going to get in my next one here. What's a day in the life of Dylan Price?
Day in the life of Dylan Price. When I'm in training camp, all boxing. Go to the gym in the morning, come home, eat breakfast, rest up, watch a little bit of TV, go back to the gym. Outside of training camp, really the same thing. I'm a boring guy. I wake up, I run every morning. I always run. That's something I felt like I had to do. That's a part of my everyday life. In the afternoon, I go to the gym. We have our own boxing, doing D-Boys boxing. We train the kids and stuff like that. On the weekends, I'll go out with my girl and my friends and my little brother and hang out a little bit. I don't party, I don't club, I don't drink. Train. My going out is going to the movies and going out to dinner. No drinking, no smoking, no partying.
Nice.
But that's the day in the life. And traveling. I love to travel too. I love
Okay.
So he really don't have the bad habits in boxing that some can have. But if you move his bed to the left, you might see potato chips and cheese twits.
As a kid.
Yeah, all right. You still might see that stuff. You move a little bit to the left. But other than that, pretty good habits.
Nice. What's a day in the life of David Price?
Very similar. The gym, do my training, train the boys, train those that are gym members, and we come back and we train. Same thing, not a party animal, not a drinker. So it's the same thing. We just handle our business, stay in my word. I'm a former pastor, so a lot of prayer and reading. Do a lot of reading on different things. So yeah, not too much. Just the gym, handle my business, and these guys are enough between him and my son Devin.
Yeah. It looks like you guys are in the lab right now.
Yeah,
that's it.
Just got finished training.
Up. Yep.
Very nice. I saw you posted a video of getting some body shots in the other day.
Right. Oh yeah. We started that our last training camp. We just wanted to create something to keep the core even tighter, so we added that to it. It definitely hurt. I'm just getting back. So my friend was at me with it yesterday. I've been feeling him. I'm getting back.
That was in Rocky.
Yep. I was feeling those shots.
And that's gonna come in handy. The guy that we're opponent, he's a good body puncher. So it's just preparation. We're gonna take those shots out. We're not gonna get free ones like that, but
Right.
he is a body puncher, so it's just good preparation for that.
Absolutely. So, Dylan, what was your so you're 11-0 professionally? What was your toughest fight yet to date, in your opinion?
My toughest fight, I would say, in May last year at the Barclays Center, I fought a guy. I ended up stopping him, but he just kept coming. He threw a lot of punches. He had an awkward style. So I would say that was my toughest fight.
He beat 3 national champions. He had like a 50-50 record, but if you didn't study him and you had the wrong game plan, he could make you look bad. I mean, he threw over 120 punches around. He just was a busy fighter. So we just took the approach, instead of moving and letting him keep coming, to just stay in the pocket, let him shoot the shots, pick your shots. So you had to give up a little bit to get it. But I didn't think he was a big puncher, and Dylan said that in the ring he wasn't. But he just kept coming.
He
didn't
kept
stop.
coming. No matter what I hit him with, he kept coming. And he didn't quit. The ref stopped it. But yeah, I would say that was my toughest fight because of the pressure that he kept trying to put on.
Yeah, that's always a good thing, though. Experience one of those, because you probably had an idea that maybe that was his style coming in.
Right.
Obviously from like watching film, whatever you guys did, you probably understood like maybe, all right, this guy's not going to be an easy out, but exactly. I'm a way better technical fighter than this guy. So, let's just take it in.
Exactly. And that was the game. Because a lot of the guys he fought ran all around the ring. Like my dad said, he told me to stay in the center, take some of the shots out, and fire off of that. And he wasn't used to that. So when I was standing there with him, kind of threw him off a little bit because he used to be running.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good thing to do, man, because at the end of the day, he's going to follow you no matter what.
Right.
And then, so if you just stand there, you're giving him a whole different fight. Because in his mind, all right, Dylan Price is going to do what everyone else does: walk around the ring, run around the ring, all that stuff.
Exactly.
So that's awesome, man. You were able to adapt to that, and get that under your belt, like you know what I mean.
Right.
And that fight was coming off of we had fought in January, and we fought the kid that's tested positive for steroids. That was just a horrible thing for the sport in and of itself. He came in overweight, so he came in overweight and he was juicing. So that was a tough fight. But we had another fight coming right behind it. We knew it was very winnable, but we knew it was still going to be tough because he was going to be busy.
There was a lot of pressure on me that fight. And I said it was my toughest fight coming off the last fight. So that was honestly one of the most memorable fights that I had so far in my career because there was a lot of pressure coming off the last fight. People didn't know how I would respond. And I stopped the guy that never been stopped before. So that was memorable.
So how would you say your style is as a fighter, and who did you look up to as a fighter, and did you mirror any of that fighter's game into your game now?
Right. I would say I'm a boxer puncher, and I watch a lot of Pretty Boy Floyd, Pernell Whitaker. And the newer guys, I watch Tevin Farmer, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's some good guys to mirror a game around for sure.
Yeah. And I watch Lomachenko too sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. We a friend of ours, Nate Campbell. He was a real good inside gritty fighter. So we study him, and we actually brought him in, be a part of our team on several camps. He's going to do it this camp too. But just to show some of that inside work, that grittiness that you don't learn in the amateurs.
And I watch Nate Campbell too. My favorite fight to watch of him is him and Juan Diaz, and him and Ali Fanica too. I watch those fights a lot.
That's awesome.
And he reminds us of those fights every chance he gets to.
David, do you get in the ring and throw down at all?
No, I mean, my day's over. See, I can say that. Other guys can't say that. No, I don't really want to get hit. I don't get hit anymore. So no, that's over. I mean, I have some medical issues and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't get hit anymore.
All right.
I'm gonna just run.
Okay, yeah. All right. If you had a dream fight for the end of 2021, so like goals for 2021, right? And then a dream fight to end it, to cap it off, what would that be?
For him or for anybody?
Dylan.
My dream fight since I turned professional always been Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito, because I used to watch him a lot in the amateurs and even in the beginning of my pro career. So I would say Chocolatito. He honestly is the reason that super flyweight division is where it is right now.
Thank you, Chocolatito.
So I definitely would say Roman Gonzalez. I respect him as a fighter, but I would love to get in the ring with him one day.
Okay. So what are your goals for 2021?
My goals for 2021 is to be fighting for 12 rounds and get ready to be fighting for a world title.
Beautiful. So I know, did you ever fight at bantamweight?
Yes, I fought at bantamweight. Yeah.
Okay. So what
my
weight?
last fight was bantamweight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what weight do you like more, or like what weight class do you like more?
I'm a super flyweight. I'm not really super flyweight, but we'll go up time to time. But my set weight is super flyweight. I want to fight for a world title super flyweight, and then eventually go up.
Beautiful thing. All right, so I'm gonna.
It's a lot harder matchmaking and so on with the super flyweights. That's why we have to move up to bantam sometimes just to get fights.
Keep busy fights.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna end it with this.
Okay.
Being originally from Philly, I guess you can say, born in Philly.
Yep.
Your favorite cheesesteak spot for both of you guys?
Gems.
Gems. All right.
I like Ishkabibble's too, but they're not better than Gems. So I say Gems, then Ishkabibble's.
Okay.
Yeah. What's yours?
Gems for you too, Dave Price? No.
From Philadelphia, born and raised. The best cheesesteaks in this area are not from Philadelphia. This place called Jersey Joe's, and it's like Berlin, New Jersey. Jersey Joe's. He's South Philly, just like me, from Philly, but came and put a gym in Jersey, so it's not quote unquote the Jersey gym. And his cheesesteak place is the same. No, Jersey Joe's are the best cheesesteaks and fries, bar none. When my buddies come from out of town, you know, everybody wants a cheesesteak. And we went to different places, and once they hit Jersey Joe's, it doesn't matter. We could be in North Jersey. We meet up there and go fighting. They'll stop back down here in Jersey Joe's and then get themselves back to DC. So Jersey Joe's is the best cheesesteaks there.
I gotta try it.
Yeah,
guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys for coming on. We appreciate it. Dylan, best of luck in 2021. Your next fight, man. Looking forward to watching it. I'm going to actually talk to Joe after this and see if I can tag along. My work schedule's crazy, but I would love to come and watch you in person, take a couple pictures, get a couple shirts.
That'd be great, man.
Whatever I can do. All right, guys.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh yeah, thank you. And also, I'm very excited to see what whip that you're gonna pull up in, because I know that you impressed everyone with the Rolls Royce. So I'm very curious to see what you're gonna roll in.
Promotion, baby. That's the promotion.
I love it. All right. Well, Dave, Dylan, thank you so much. And you know that I'll be in the building January 16th to show love to you guys and also show love to some of the Philly boys that will be on the card.
All right.
That's right.
Thanks.
Elevation Event Center, January 16th. Main event.
By the way.
Main event. Love it.
Yep. By the way, guys, I work for the Genesis dealer. They just came out with a new SUV. So if you guys want to roll up in that, let me know. It's not no Rolls Royce, but it's like $85,000 car.
Woo!
Car. Got you.
Got you.
All right,
Thank you.
sounds good.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks again.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
All right. See you.
All right.